Alright, so welcome. This time we're going to be going over the ETF ULTY, which is one of the yieldmax funds. We're going to be going over that one with no drip. Last time, if you remember, we went over what happens if you did the dividend reinvestment. This time we're going to go over if you did not do the drip. First for 1 year, and then we'll go a quick one with it since it made its change in March. So just like last time, we're starting off with a $10,000 investment into ULTY, and on July 1st of 24, the price was $13.60 per share. So that allowed you to buy 735.29 shares of ULTY. On the first month, actually had a 99-cent dividend. You were able to get a total dividend of $731 that month. And as you see, you did not buy any increased shares, so you will be staying with the $735 for the entire year here. With this one, I'll be highlighting both the ULTY price, the total value of ULTY with your total return, and then also your total dividends, and then the overall value of just the ULTY, the ETF versus the price. In August, it was a 78-cent dividend, so you're able to get $573, but also the share price went down quite a bit, and so your overall value went down to $8,000. In September, you saw the ULTY price drop again. However, the dividend did come up to 98 cents, giving you $722. Went to 83 cents, and then just kind of hung out in that area for a little while, up and through till December, where it did go down to 71 cents. So overall, from July until December, you were able to get $3,000 out of a $10,000 investment. However, if you were to sell the ULTY ETF that day, you would only get $6,904. But if you look at it as the overall ULTY value, in addition to the amount of dividends that you've got, you did get a 6.73% return on your investment at that time. So in January, February, and then beginning into March, the dividend price hung out at 57 cents, 54 cents, and then 47 cents. So the share price also continued to drop. And if you remember from the last video, in the middle of March is when they changed their dividend, and overall stock approached everything from a monthly dividend to a weekly dividend. And then also they did change their underlying strategy for the way that they were investing ULTY, which did give them quite a little bit better of a jump on things. So through the end of March, with the total dividends, you're at $5,145. But with the share price going from $13.60 down to $6.30, the value of the stock did drop significantly, and you did have a negative return. So now we're going to be going month by month. In April, it was hanging out around between 8 and 9 cents per week, giving you a $60 to $67 dividend per month, so $240 that month. In May, you actually had a 5-week May, so you got a little bit better of a dividend that time, and it ranging anywhere from $68 to $86, and you were able to get a little over $300 in that month. In June, it did stay right around between 9 and 10 cents. Same thing, you're getting about close to $70, $65 to $70 per week for your dividend on a $10,000 investment. And then into July, same thing, it's staying right around, hanging out since they changed it to a weekly dividend. The stock price is hanging around $6 a share, $6 to $6.20 a share, but the dividends are staying right around 9 to 10 cents per share per week. So it is a decent dividend ratio per the stock price. But you'll also see into August, that did stay right around 10 cents, but the share price has continued to drop a little bit right now. So right now is a very good time to get in if you're thinking that this may continue to bloom or hang out right in that area. If you think that it's going to continue to drop, well, it might not be a good one to look at. So for 1 year of a $10,000 investment, the ending ETF value was $4,441.15. So overall return, if you're just looking at the value as a stock, that was horrible. You went well under 50% negative investment with that one. However, if you add in the dividends of $6,484 on top of that, you did end up with a 9.26% total yield. So that is, in a nutshell, what happens with a $10,000 ULTY investment from 1 year with no drip. So now I'm going to go over real quick with the no drip since March. So in March, when they changed their overall strategy as well as making it into a weekly dividend, the stock has done quite a bit better. In March, once again, you're able to buy your $10,000, was able to get 1,492 shares because the stock price was a lot lower at that time. The first dividend was fairly good because that's the week before they switched things, and then it started out around the 9 to 10 cents per share. So you're getting about a $150 dividend per week. In April, same thing. That was 8 to 9 cents, but you did see the share price drop quite a bit. So your total value was still right around $10,000 because you were able to get $1,651 of dividends, but your overall share value did drop, but you did have a 3.53% return. In May was the 5-week month, hanging out between 9 to 11 cents here. So you're still getting your $130 to $170 dividends per week. And your overall total return did come up to 15.19%. If you were looking just at the share price of the stock value, that did drop from $10,000 down to $9,100. But when you add the dividend in, your overall total value was at $11,500 then. In June, same thing, between 8 to 9 cents, just like last time in May, and your share price seemed to kind of stabilize around $6.10 to about $6.30 per day. So your overall stock value did actually raise that month a little bit, up to $9,400, but you did get another looks like about $500 of dividend that month. So your overall return has went up to 23.69%. In July, continued about the same, 9 to 10 cents per share, and the stock price kind of hung out in the mid sixes, still giving you a decent dividend per week. And then when you look at it up until the most recent data, same thing, about 10 cents per share. The stock price over the last few weeks has been hanging between $6 and about $6.20 per share. And however, we have had a little bit of a downturn in the market recently, which is causing that. But overall, if you look at the share price since everything changed in March, you now have a overall value of $9,014 for just your ETF, but you've got $3,859 in dividends for an overall value of $12,874. So since March, this has had a 28.74% return. There's not too many stocks out there doing that right now. Next up, I am going to continue the ULTY and MSTY trend and just update some on that, but also go into what happens if you drip from MSTY into Bitcoin, as well as into some of the other common stocks. Just like last time, if you guys have any comments, questions, or anything that you would like me to go over next time, definitely let me know. I'd love to get some other stocks in here. I'm planning on doing a VOO as well as the SCHD, which are the two and a more common, very conservative dividend stocks out there, just to show you the difference that if ULTY or MSTY is compared to those two, how you're getting a lot more dividends with the other two. But just remember, ULTY and MSTY do have quite a bit of risk with them, as opposed to the old steadfast VOO or SCHD. Thanks a lot, and have a good day.